Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, I'm groovy, baby. Cha-cha. I'm groovy, baby. I'm braggy, booby. I'm braggy, booby. Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and this week's episode is all about one word: vibe. Vibe like good vibes, like bad vibes. Short for vibration. Talking about those frequencies, those wavelengths, those imperceptible to the human eye, which affect our perception and enjoyment of any particular thing. Vibes, baby. Why am I talking hippy-dippy nonsense? Because I think that we don't talk about game vibes enough. Your vibe with a game. For instance, I think that vibe is the perfect taste safe word. For instance, if you're talking to me about a great game, let's say Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. If you come to me and you say, I don't like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker because I think it's a stupid puzzle game where nothing important happens. I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm about to punch you right on the nose, Buster. However, if you say, I don't like that game because I don't like its vibe, I'm cool. That's cool. You know what I mean? You don't have to say any more after that. Vibe, done. There's nothing that can be done. If you don't like its vibe, you're never going to like that game. And so I do think it's important. I think it's important for us to talk about game vibes. We talk about gunplay. We talk about AI and cover mechanics and graphics. But we very rarely talk about a game's vibe, which I think is probably the most important of all those things. If I'm putting my brain into your game space, if I'm putting my consciousness into this world, I gotta be chill with its vibe. But I mean that, the vibe has to work with you. And so for today's episode, top 4 ways to control your vibe. Number 1, music. So the game I've chosen to demonstrate a mastery of vibe is Metroid Prime. Just downloaded this for $10 freaking. Can you believe that? Well, the trilogy for $10 even. Unbelievable. But this game, Metroid Prime, has 100% control of its vibe. It is in control. And this music is part of it. The Metroid Prime music is so distinct and just sets a tone for this weird alien planet that you are meant to feel uncomfortable on, but still motivated to explore. Pretty incredible soundtrack. The first time I learned about music and how it can affect one's perception of video, interestingly enough, was on Reading Rainbow. LeVar Burton was trying to tell us about what kind of influence music can have on just an image. So he showed this alligator. No music or anything, just an alligator crawling. Like, okay. Then he added scary music. And so suddenly this alligator, same thing, became terrifying. Then he added prickly little ballerina music. And I remember my sister and I were watching this. We both broke out hysterically into laughter at the same dumb alligator we'd already seen twice. It was the same alligator that terrified us moments before. So that obviously translates. Obviously, music can affect your vibe. Music is vibes. Interesting thing about music and vibe, music in video games can just be turned off, which is honestly pretty crazy. It's a feature I actually appreciate. But if you think about if you could watch a movie and just say, I don't want to listen to music, that movie's not gonna feel good. It's gonna feel uncomfortable. A movie with no music is just, this is weird. The action sequences feel less actiony. The romantic sequences just feel like, what are they doing? Movies feel weird with no music. This show would feel weird with no music. Let's do 3 seconds of the show with no music. How does this feel? You got the heebie-jeebies yet? Yeah, I thought so. Music back, please. But another video game, another example I wanted to use for great use of music and its vibe is Minecraft. Minecraft, visually, look at this game, it's a world of cubes. It's a very simple looking game. Minecraft easily could have done a cute little 8-bit music chiptune, kind of just like but it didn't. It went for this very atmospheric, very interesting. The music in Minecraft is so different, so unique to Minecraft that it feels like you are in a world. You're surrounded by stupid cubes that look like pixel art. But you believe in this world partially because that music makes it an atmosphere. I love the music to that. Music, baby, that's all about those vibes. Number 2, loading screens. Right after music goes straight into loading screens. Loading screens, though, weirdly important. You see this one singular screen more than you see any other singular screen in a video game, the loading screen. And so if it just says the word loading, or if it's just a spinning icon, worse, if it's just tips on how to play the game, I think you're not trying hard enough. Like if I'm deep into this game, if I'm 4 hours into this game and like a level's loading and it's just like, use charge attacks to attack slow enemies. That's like, I know! I've done that 1,000 times! You're making my vibe weird. And what would they say? You're harshing my vibe. Is that what kids say? We say harshing your vibe? So in that sense, bad loading screen. Metroid Prime, no loading screens. Not a single one. The way Metroid Prime loads, the first is the door just takes a long time to open sometimes, just like, oh, you're clearly loading that world. I guess there's some internal logic there. The other way I actually like a lot is when you're going to a new zone, you go on an elevator ride, and this elevator ride is a cutscene. And so the cutscene is masking the loading screen. It is loading behind the scenes. But within that cutscene, you're getting context. You're getting, it doesn't break up the game. You learn where you're going from and where you're going to, and sort of, in a strange way, dramatizes your traversal through this world. You appreciate this world in its entirety more than if it was just a black screen that said loading video game, and fade back up, and now I'm in a new spot. It's like, where'd I come from? It just connects that world. Beautiful vibe. Number 3, visual style, obviously. Obviously, how your game looks is going to affect its vibe. Metroid Prime, still today, looks good somehow. And to be honest, I think that at that time, you had to be more creative in representing a world. And so you had to be creative, and so that sort of limitation enabled everyone to kind of hold up better than I think a lot of games from the last 4 years will as time goes on. Today, it's harder to differentiate your game. You're probably outsourcing a lot of things to a lot of different companies. You're like, we don't have the budget to make this table, outsource it. And so you bring this table in, and that table isn't unique to your game. That table doesn't say this is from this game. Every screenshot should say, hey, that's from that game. So my other example for this one is No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, any screenshot of No Man's Sky you know is from No Man's Sky. Before it's even out, this game has established its own unique visual style, its own vibe, which is quite an accomplishment. A bad example of this, I watched a trailer recently for Let's All Go to the Trailers. Cross-promoting! Brandon! I'm cross-promoting your show! Yeah, he's gone. He doesn't even know. We watched trailers. So I watched a trailer for Homeworld Remastered, and part of the remastered trailer is like, look at the improvements over the last version of this game. So let's look at the last version of Homeworld. I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. I like the colors. I like the architecture. If I may say, I like its vibe. Now let's see how they improved it. Whoa! Stop it! What have you done? Do you know what you did? You lost your vibe. You made all these improvements. You lost everything that was unique about that old design. Too many colors. Too distinctive architecture. Too distinct color. Like, oh my gosh, it's gone. I don't even have to explain that. You lost your vibe. Number 4, writing. Writing, obviously gonna affect your vibe. And I know what you're thinking, Metroid Prime doesn't have that much writing. Metroid Prime has a ton of writing. It has a lot of writing in that game. And what's interesting, it's all kind of flavor text. It's all, you scan something and then it's just like, here's what that is. For instance, if you just see like this weird little dumb glob creature, it's like 2 feet tall, big whoop, you scan it, and the text will say, this creature has a hard shell that can only be destroyed by explosives, and its intelligence only allows it to travel across a certain hunting path. Something like that. It'll say that instead of, you can only beat this creature with rockets, and it's obviously going to only trace this one path that the game creators created for it. No, it's saying, hey, this is all part of this world. This all actually makes sense in this world. And so I appreciate the text for that reason. Secondary example for writing and how that affects the vibe very well. Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight has very good writing for the reason that the characters within Shovel Knight believe in this world. What do I mean by this? I think there's a tendency among retro style games to be very winky, to just kind of cross their arms and say, hey, I'm in on all these jokes. To like throw in references. Everybody ready for an alien reference? Like, it weakens its own world. Hey, everybody, look what I found on Reddit. I'm putting it in this game. Like, all right, this could have been your own world. Shovel Knight it is. When Shovel Knight says a phrase like shovel justice, you believe that this character believes in something called shovel justice without any hint of irony. And that strengthens his world, strengthens his vibe. That game, beautiful vibe. So those are the 4 reasons I wanted to look at primarily. And also, I mean, Metroid Prime, great game. Its sequels, also great games. But the reason why I love Metroid Prime and are a little sour on the other 2 is vibes. Metroid Prime just has the best vibe of those 3 games. And so it can be just as simple as that. That can be your criticism if you so choose. Your friends might be like, dude, you say the word vibe too much. What is your deal? I do face that. I have said vibe probably 80 times at least throughout this episode. Don't count. Don't you dare count and make that a comment, please. It's too late. That's already happening. Before I go, I should acknowledge what happened last week. I was very clearly in a bad mood last week for lots of obvious reasons. However, I let that affect my writing, and I ended up producing an episode I am not entirely proud of. I would like to take this opportunity to say I'm sorry for the mistake I made last week. There it is. I missed an E in culture. I'll be back here next Wednesday. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, I'm Kyle Bosman, and today's episode is about one word, vibe. Talking about good vibes, talking about bad vibes, short for vibrations. You know what, Hubert?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I appreciate you coming back here again. I was just wondering if maybe you could sit anywhere else.
No can do, buddy.
Okay. Hello everyone, I am Kyle Bosman, and today I want to talk about one word, vibe. Short for vibrations. I'm not good vibes, bad vibes. Those frequencies, those wavelengths, imperceptible to the human eye, but that which affect our perceptions and enjoyment of any particular thing.
Those things that make you feel, baby, feelings. How you feel when an image comes across that screen and into your heart. Into your heart, and what comes right back out, what you give back. These are all definitions of the word vibe.